So I am going to make another video today. Today I'm going to make chicken parm meatballs. The recipe for this can be found on mine and Marissa's website, fixeduprecipes.net. I love these meatballs. My sister loves these meatballs. My husband loves these meatballs. They're really simple to make and they're fix friendly. So the first thing that you're going to need is a pound of ground chicken. I use 99% fat-free lean chicken. You also need 2 cups of marinara sauce, 1/2 cup of whole wheat breadcrumbs, 1 1/4 cups of ricotta cheese, a cup of fresh mozzarella or regular mozzarella, 1 egg, and some seasoning, some garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. So I just put the meat in a bowl, add my egg, add my breadcrumbs, some salt and pepper, a little extra pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Okay, so once I have all of that together, I'm going to have to take my rings off. And actually, before I get started with that, I'm going to start to put some of the tomato sauce into the bowl. So this is going to make 8 meatballs. And I like to use individual baking dishes, put 2 meatballs in each one. You don't have to do that. You can use 1 baking dish. But the first thing to do is to put 1/4 cup of the tomato sauce into each of the baking dishes. So this ends up being about half of the tomato sauce. And in my measuring cup, I have 2 cups, so I can sort of eyeball it. Just disperse about 1 cup into the 4 baking dishes. Spread it around a little. Okay, and now I'm going to quickly just cut 8 slices of my fresh mozzarella. I think this last one's going to be a little small, so I'll figure it out when I get there. I'll take a little from another one. Okay, so I have like 8 portions of my mozzarella. So now I'm just going to mix my meatballs. I don't want to overmix them. If you overmix them, they become extremely dense and not as enjoyable. So just mixing them, making sure that all of my ingredients are evenly dispersed. My egg is mixed throughout. Once I feel it's mixed, I'm just going to start to section it off into 4 servings. So I typically just sort of section it off in my pan, and I know that each one of these sections is going to make me 2 meatballs. And again, I don't over roll my meatballs because I find that that makes them too dense as well. So 1 meatball goes in. Second meatball goes in, and now I'm moving into my second portion. Again, not over rolling my meatballs. They'll stick together just fine as they bake. Moving into my next, and my next one. Probably, okay, let me just quickly wash my hands. I'm going to remember to put my rings back on because I will forget and my children will be running around with them. So now I want to disperse the rest of the sauce, the next cup of sauce, amongst the 4 different portions. And I just put the sauce right on top of the meatballs. You can also do the ricotta cheese if you'd like first. I typically do the sauce first. Okay, so these are extremely saucy. I would probably, for my family, I would serve these over spaghetti squash or zucchini noodles. This way, I'm not eating any carbs. And now I just take my ricotta cheese and I'm going to add just a little bit on top of each meatball. I don't even push it down because once it heats up, it sort of just melts on its own. And I have some extras, so now I'm going to keep going with it. People always ask how I know that everything is getting equal portions. I do a lot of eyeballing, but I know what my ingredients are when I'm starting out. So I was starting out with 1¼ cups of ricotta cheese, so I know roughly how much each one's getting. Okay, so now just simply put my mozzarella on the top of each one. It's supposed to be on the top of each meatball. We'll have a little bit more than others. And I just need to bake that now. With the chicken parm meatballs, they look delicious. I can't wait to dive into all of that cheese. So the recipe made 4 servings. Each serving is 2 meatballs. And it counts as 1/2 purple, 1 1/2 reds, and 1 blue. I hope you enjoy them as much as I do.